our plastic snap close envelope. We're going to do a little activity in the reading section. So let me grab the camera so you can see what we're working on. All right, I wish we could see each other still at the same time. All right, but I'd like to show you how to do it. So we're going to be in the reading section, and we are back here, way back. We just did race last week, and so today, turn one page, and then we're going to grab our plastic envelope, and you'll have those papers that are stapled together, restate the question. You have a bunch of papers, and the very last one says answering questions. Tear that off, and then take a second. Don't put these down somewhere else because they will get lost. Everybody knows how that is. Put them back in your envelope and snap it closed and put it aside till we need it again. You're going to grab some scissors, and we're just going to cut out this giant rectangle. We're not going to do any music because it's not going to take us very long. But you could be singing some of the math songs in your head if you wanted to. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70, 77, 84. We'll remember forevermore. And then the 8th song. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80, 88, 96. That's our 8th song. We haven't really done a lot of the 9 song, but that one, the tune's a little bit different for me. I have to hear it again to remind myself. Something like 9, 18, 24, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90, 99, 108. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun on the dance floor. Sorry, you guys have to listen to me sing. That will not change, unfortunately. All right, so if you will please glue in after our race, we're going to do answering questions. If you need to pause this video because you're not quite there yet, go ahead and push pause right now so that I'm not talking while you're trying to get this cut out. All right, we are going to read this story, more than a sentence. We're going to read this story, and then we're going to be thinking about the race. Restate the question. Remember that? Okay, we're going to restate the question. We're going to answer all parts of the question. We're going to cite evidence and explain our evidence. We haven't really done a lot of that part yet. All right, so here we go. Our class field trip to the zoo turned out to be a little more wild than I had thought it would be. My teacher, Mrs. Myers, told us just how important it was to stay in our groups with our parent chaperone. I never meant to break the rules. My group consisted of myself, Chad, Kira, and Mrs. Barton. We were at the polar bear exhibit. The polar bears seemed to be putting on a show for us. They were swimming and playing together with a plastic ball. I must have been distracted by those bears because when I looked behind me for Mrs. Barton, I realized that my group was gone. I called for them. I walked to the zebra exhibit that was nearby, but they weren't there. I started to panic. I was sitting on a bench thinking about how much trouble I was going to be in when I saw Chad running towards me. There you are. Come on. We are about to see the bird show. I apologized to Mrs. Barton, but she was just happy to have the group back together. Who was the parent chaperone of the author's group? Who was the parent chaperone of the author's group? Okay. My teacher, Mrs. Myers, and we were in Mrs. Barton's group. Okay. So what we're going to do first is to restate the question, part of the question. the parent chaperone was Mrs. Barton, period. Okay? So that's the first part. Did we answer all of the parts of the question? Who was the parent chaperone of the author's group? Okay, we answered everything. And we have part of the question in our answer. Next, we need to cite our evidence that we know it's Mrs. Barton. Okay, so it says, my group consisted. Do you see that up there? My group consisted of myself, Chad, Kara, and Mrs. Barton. All right. I can say, I know this because the author listed who was in their group. Okay? So right there, I had some evidence that she was part of their group, that she is their chaperone. Also, he apologized to Mrs. Barton. Okay, so he didn't apologize to everyone else. He knew she was the adult that he was supposed to be with. All right, so go ahead and write down your answer in your notebook. And guess what? Once you're finished with that answer, you're all finished with today's lesson. It's going to be a short one. We just practiced using our race strategies. So, all right, guys. Well, I will see you. Let's see if I can move that. I can't move that. I will see you in our read aloud. I head that way right now. And we'll keep going with our Mouse and the Motorcycle book, which is very exciting. I'm having a lot of fun with that book. I hope you are too. All right. Make sure you have everything finished in your reading interactive notebook activity. And I will see you over at our read aloud.